My friend just told me a really inspirational story. It's a story about her Aaron Cutler, who was the Rosh Yeshiva of Lakewood Yeshiva, and this story takes place when Rabbi Cutler was actually on his deathbed, and he had cancer, and he was in terrible, terrible, excruciating, almost unbearable pain, and so this is a story that appears in his biography. So his wife says to the rabbi, the Rebbitzin says to him, "Don't worry." I'm sorry. This conversation took place in Yiddish, and my friend translated for me. So the wife says, "Don't worry, it will turn out good." And then Rabbi Cutler responded to his wife, "It is already good. Everything that Hashem does is good. What is meant to be is." And that means that what is right now is good. Okay, so this is it's like a difficult story to understand. Like, he is like in excruciating pain, like constantly, this great tzaddik, and he's in terrible pain, and he's dying, and it's like he can't do anything because he's just in such terrible pain. What could possibly be good about this? But it's amazing because he says everything that Hashem, because he says, what is meant to be is. What is right now is good. Everything that Hashem does is good. Apparently, this is what Hashem wants right now, so it must be good. I think it's an interesting story because it reminds us, what is good and what Hashem wants, and what's the very, very, very best thing for us is, in some cases, in many cases, maybe it's something that's uncomfortable, even painful. One of my favorite places to go in the whole world is the Israel Museum. I like to go there on my birthday, like it's a special. And this is going to sound really funny, but for me, going to the Israel Museum, which is like a very sort of secular kind of place, for me, it's really a religious experience, and I want to tell you why. So the first thing I like to do when I get there, then right by the children's wing, then they have these chairs that look like hands, like this. Okay, what it's like you're sitting in a hand. Okay, this is the seat. Do you understand? So I sit in that seat, and they have, I don't know, maybe they have like dozens of these, dozens of these chairs next to the children's wing, and I sit in one, and I imagine Hashem is holding me. Hashem is supporting me. Hashem is right there. Hashem is right there. He's holding me and supporting me through everything I have to go through. So right next to the children's wing, you go up this ramp, and it's a ramp leading from the children's wing to the main section of the museum, and it's a ramp leading up, and it's a bit of a heart. It's a bit of like a climb to get up to the main wing, and every time I climb it, I think, this is a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult for me to be climbing this, and that's a sign that I'm going up. Okay? If it's hard and I'm sort of huffing and puffing to get up this, especially when I'm pregnant. When I went there, I was pregnant. I was huffing and puffing to get up that climb. Like, it's a sign that I'm going up. I have something that I do, like when I'm in like a difficult situation, I have to deal with like a difficult person, something that's challenging for me, dealing with like a difficult person, let's say, then I think to myself, that was uncomfortable. That was uncomfortable dealing with that person, and it's making me great. It's making me great. I know, I think all of you know that in my neighborhood, I'm in like a complicated situation. About 2 years ago, then we found out that there was like a ring of people hurting, abusing children in the neighborhood, sexually and even physically abusing children in the neighborhood. And those people, I see them still, and they harass me in little ways. Like, they say little things to me to get on my nerves. And every single time I say that to myself. I say to myself, that was uncomfortable, and it's making me great. And when I look back 2 years ago, I would have never believed 2 years ago, before this whole thing started, I would have never believed how strong I could possibly be, how strong I could be in the face of all these criminals, who really hate me because they hate me because I took a public stand on the internet and in the community against them and trying to protect the kids. But I am so, and I see looking back, it's been a painful experience, it's been a difficult experience. It's I'm huffing and puffing and huffing and puffing, and I'm going up. So I want to bless all of you Jewish moms. Next time, if any of you are in a difficult experience and a challenging experience, and I believe personally, I know that my teacher, this might sound a little bit morbid, but my teacher, Rabbinit Yemima Mizrahi, so she always says, she says you want to rest, you want things to be easy and simple, and all the tests in life to be over. She said, rest, which is called menucha, is waiting for you in the Har Menuchot, in the cemetery. In the cemetery, all the challenges will be over. As long as we're alive, then there's always going to be challenges and difficulties and things that aren't 100%. There's never going to be. I'm sorry to break this sort of upsetting news to you. It's hard for me too, but once you finish one nisayon, you finish one test, there's going to be like another one. But this is all good. It's all good. It's like Rabbi Cutler says. If you're huffing, you're puffing, it's hard, you don't know what to do, it's a sign that you're going up. It's making you great. It's making you closer to Hashem. So I want to bless all of you Jewish moms that you should feel in any nisayon that you're going through, any difficulty, that you should feel you're huffing and you're puffing and you're going up. And Hashem is right there with you, just like in that chair. Hashem's holding you. You're in Hashem's hand. I want to bless all of you Jewish moms with an amazing, amazing week.